Because
heard the
we had
internet
such
guys, yeah.
issues because 2 weeks ago with Jared, we had to stop the whole stream like halfway through. The internet just died completely without even knowing what was going on. And then, we had guys out. They came and sorted it out. And then last week with Jared was seamless. It was absolutely perfect. There was no issues at all. So it's really frustrating, but that's just how it goes, guys.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Pray for our internet. I'm going to have to phone the internet providers again and be like, I think I want to cancel, get another internet provider. Is there anything else you wanted to talk about?
No. Oh, Tracy did watch it, so yeah.
What were your thoughts on it, Tracy?
Yeah, it's an interesting...
Anyone else have thoughts? Anyone else watch Social Dilemma? I thought it was very interesting. And I thought the point that they make, I think, is valid. It's a brilliant... It's true. And I think fighting who gets the couch. Who's fighting who gets the couch? You meaning we fighting about who gets the couch? I'm not sure, Nathan.
High Reason.
So coming back to Social Dilemma, yes, High Reason. Good to see you.
Sorry.
I think our baby monitor is
dying.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, I think it's absolutely true. But my feeling is that because we have to discern things spiritually, I think as much as, yes, the algorithm is feeding us stuff. If you haven't watched it, basically the point is that our social media algorithms that are written are designed to keep us engaged in social media for as long as possible so that those companies can make as much money off ads as possible. That's their whole business plan. And so, and what it says is that also feeds into the polarization in society because we're being fed what we already love to watch. And I think that's all true, but I have to think that there's also an additional layer to that, which is maybe not the people themselves having some sinister plot. I don't think it's like some Illuminati plot to overthrow or control the world, but I think there's a potential that spiritual forces are at work behind the way these algorithms have been written in order to control and divide or control people. And one of the best ways to control people is to divide them. I mean, you just look at what's happening in America at the moment. People are completely confused because they're completely divided. And yeah, that's I think quite scary. Robin Mentor.
Hey, Robin. So good to see you. Where in the world are you, Robin? Yeah.
You're not in China.
But you're in the States.
Are you in the
Fun
States?
places.
I don't think you're in South Africa.
No. Sorry, Tracy just said, very scary for our children. We need to learn how to be in charge. Couldn't agree more, Tracy. And I found it so interesting that the guys who have developed these, some of the developers of these social media platforms don't give their own children access to social media and to phones and whatever. So, yeah, interesting.
Yeah. I mean, that one guy right at the end when they asked all of them, and he said and he was one of the big developers of Instagram.
Pinterest. Oh.
I can't remember.
Okay, yeah.
One of the big ones. He was one of the, and he just said they do not give their children phones at all. And I think it's absolutely absurd. I mean, in South Africa, we are becoming more and more culture where we are giving our children phones at a young age. I think children shouldn't have a phone until they're like 16 at the very youngest. I mean, it's absolutely absurd, actually, that children have smartphones.
It's insane.
Or you could maybe have a smartphone, but there should be a smartphone that is severely restricted in what
they have access to full social media, yeah.
It's just crazy. And I mean, the fact that these guys say it's crazy is making it obvious. I think people should have known it's crazy a long time, or people have, but it's the pressure in society is what do we do with that?
And all my friends have one, so why can't I?
Yeah, so I think that is tricky. Robin, favorite spiritual exercise you love doing together? Rhode Island. Okay, so that's two-part question there. So Nathan, I'm still wondering about the fighting.
No, I think he's meaning who sleeps on the couch if we fight and who stays in the bed.
Oh, we've never done that.
Never done that.
Yeah, we always make up before bed. So, we sometimes one of us sleeps on the couch just
out
because
of choice.
We want to sleep on the couch. Robin, yes. So favorite spiritual exercise and Rhode Island. Oh, awesome! Watching from Rhode. What's the time now in Rhode Island? It must be sort of
America's behind us, so it must be afternoon, early afternoon. Yeah.
1 in the afternoon. Robin, are you not supposed to be working? Teaching
Aren't they in lockdown?
online.
He's
Yeah,
probably
they're
doing it
probably at
online.
home, yeah. Favorite spiritual exercise you love doing together? Wow, I think worship.
Worship.
I think that's our
Yeah.
lifeblood. Is we just at least once a week. We sometimes try and do it twice a week. We just put worship on, and the best worship at the moment we're just loving is Tribal. If you guys haven't been listening to Tribal, just get into Tribal. It's just amazing. Cool. Some of the best stuff. Just such free, powerful, awesome worship and diverse.
The words, I love the diversity in it. Yeah,
different flavors of worship because they bring in different guys from all different churches come in. I think Chandler Moore is the guy who sort of pioneers it. I think
he's awesome. Wasn't it Nathan who actually told us about them?
Yes, Nate.
I think it was.
I think you did. Well, you mentioned them a few weeks ago when we were doing God's Story. Nathan mentioned them, and then we started getting into them
about one of their songs. Yeah, and I think that's how we got into it. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's our favorite exercise. Thanks, Robin. That's a great question. If you have a fight, who sleeps on the couch, or do you sort it out before sleep time?
I think there's been once or twice maybe we didn't sort it out before sleep time. But
I still go to bed. I'm not going to sleep on the couch for that. Maybe, I don't know.
I think maybe once or twice, but otherwise we do sort it out.
My grandfather, they were not perfect in any way, but I always remember, because they were married I think they had their 60th.
Wow.
If one of my other siblings are on here, or my parents, they could correct me. They had their 60th wedding anniversary. They got to 60 years married, and they said, and they asked what was the secret, and they said never go to bed angry. And I mean it's a biblical principle. Don't go to bed with, or don't let the sun go down without with still having anger. Hey guys, good to see you, Graham.
Also from the UK. Hey Graham, we miss you guys.
I wish we could see you, Graham, and I see you and your family on social media. That's the one benefit of social media. I see your pictures of what you guys are up to. Missing you guys. This looks so interesting. Well done for being so proactive and getting out there. Miss you. Tons of blessings. Yeah, if you have a question for us, Graham, we will still hang around for a few more minutes. Tracy Ingram, me too. That was a clincher for me. Sure.
I think she's talking about kids and social media. Yeah.
Well, I've been back and forth with Twitter on my phone, and that was also for me and actually Instagram, but I just used Instagram mainly for posting stuff. But after that, I was just like, nah, I'm deleting Twitter. But Twitter for other reasons. I don't really think it sucks you in. It's more just the vitriol and the fighting that happens on Twitter.
I think the one guy made such a good point with regards to kids or preteens, tweens, whatever they're called, saying that for all of us, middle school, obviously he was American middle school, so that's 13 to 15 years old, are like some of the roughest years of your life where you're trying to find your social identity, your identity and your place in the world, and you're so insecure about yourself and uncertain about everything and going through so many changes. And then that middle school's hard enough. Why then throw in social media? It's going to be a tough one to parent through. We're sitting here like we know everything, but we haven't parented through that age yet. I
think that's really tricky. Reason says, wow, absolutely. I'm not sure which one you're saying wow to. Maybe the Tribal one.
Robin,
awesome,
it's 3 p.m. in Rhode Island.
3 p.m. Sure.
Hope your wife and little girl are well, Robin.
8-hour difference, isn't it? So it's 7 hour. I suppose Rhode Island is right at the on the east coast. So it's the earliest.
Robin, you missed earlier. He asks what we think. What do we think about spanking kids? Where we admitted that we do
spank
give
our
hidings.
Kids.
Yeah.
We don't think it's the best thing, and I mean there are often better ways to try and resolve issues. But each child's different as well.
Yes, so I think what we've also noticed is, just as I think each child has a different love language, you discipline in a different way, even though you kind of inconsistencies between siblings, but different forms of discipline and boundaries work differently for different children and also different developmental stages that they are in. So our eldest, who's 6, very seldom gets a hiding anymore. She's over that. Now you'd more have to talk it out, reason it. She can reason a lot more and understand in that way.
And if she can't reason, she's usually too tired, and then it's a lost
and then
cause
you just
anyway.
Put it to bed. But our son, who's 4.5, sometimes a spanking is needed.
It's sometimes the only thing that sort of brings like a conclusion to the matter. But I don't think It's the
It's
solution.
not the first port of call at all. It's not given often. And I think for me, what a big thing with, if you're going to, or with any form of discipline, but especially hidings, is how do you handle it afterwards? Do you just give the hiding and everything gets left blown up?
Yeah.
Or how do you come together and how do you talk through it afterwards? How do you, creating that unity afterwards and being that safe space for them afterwards?
Yeah, I think that's, especially with Levi, that's been the
Yes,
wrestle,
yes.
like what we were speaking about earlier. So if you want to go back, Robin, on part A,
Yeah.
we spoke about that a bit, just about lockdown and the wrestle with.
But it's never done straight away. It's never the first option, and it's never done just
you
anywhere.
try not to. I mean, obviously, as
Yeah.
you know, you can get pushed sometimes to your limits, and as a parent, you can also make mistakes where you lash out in a moment where you're not thinking properly. But I think most often it's you trying to avoid that and you're trying to teach something different. So,
Yeah.
but actually, we found timeout. If we've just enforced timeout really quickly.
And
And
consistently, which I've been bad at.
It works.
Yeah, to be
he
consistent.
gets it. He's just like, okay, well, that's the line. You just make the line really clear.
Yeah.
And you cross the line, it's timeout. Yeah, I mean, we're not experts. I think there's other
we
people
are not
who
experts.
are definitely better equipped to speak about parenting. Yeah, Tracy was the one who mentioned tribal.
Oh, sorry,
So,
Tracy. You're giving your brother all the credit.
Yeah,
Sorry.
It's always like that. It's such a male chauvinistic world. And it's Tracy.
Sorry, Tracy.
Yeah, we've
Thank
been
you,
loving
Tracy.
tribal.
We've loved them. So enjoy
Yeah.
them.
Guys, thank you everybody for joining us. We will definitely do this again, hopefully with better internet. Now the internet's perfect right now. It's absolutely just perfect. So we'll definitely do this again. It was great to be with all of you guys. Please do take a moment to like this video and to share it. That way other people can get a hold of it. If you share it and if you like it. And it was awesome to chat with all of you.
Yeah, thank you.
And we will, I hope in sometime soon we'll do another one. There's quite a few things coming up, which again, like I said before, on Thursday evenings, we are going to sometimes have the live, and sometimes they will be pre-recorded, but it will be premiering on YouTube and Facebook at the same time at 8 o'clock. And it will be a live experience because I will be in the chat with whoever wants to join in the chat, but there will be some pre-recorded ones. It's just to also make our lives a little bit easier, and also just scheduling with people. It's not always possible to schedule a Thursday evening.
Yeah.
And so there's some interesting conversations coming up, really interesting ones that you don't want to miss out. So stay tuned, and we'll see you guys next time.
Oh, Graham's got a question. What's been the highlight of your parenting journey? Graham, we should actually ask you. I look up to you and Kim. You and Kim are amazing.
To talk about parenting.
Raising teenage boys, and I haven't seen your family for 2-3 years. When did you go to the UK? But your boys are always such gentlemen and amazing young men. So take my hats off to you and Kim. We'll come to you for tips. Yeah, the teenagers.
Yeah, but I mean, highlight. What would you say would be your highlight of parenting?
Wow.
I can't think of one particular highlight, but I think it's just those moments when you just together and you just, playing, whatever, building Duplo or whatever, and everyone's just happy and chilled and just having fun together, and you just, those moments, those times, I think, that's for me, there's many of them, but it's like, that's the time that I think is the most valuable. I mean, there are some awesome times, like when, they just like blow you away. Like both of them have done this at times where they'll just pray a prayer out of their own. That just like, you're like, where did you get that from? And just the most incredible prayers. Those are sometimes awesome moments where, and when it's genuine, because sometimes sometimes they can also pray just because they want to,
have they say.
have their say. But that would probably be my highlight.
For me,